Okay, how's my hair?
I mean, it's under a hat, so it's fine.
That's why it's under a hat. Did you notice I'm wearing red and green for Christmas? My ash hat and red and green. And and
Sure.
it's Pokemon Red and Green. I've been organizing the house all week, and
Huh?
I took everything out of all the Pokemon stuff out of my desk and finally put all the cards into a binder.
Ooh,
The
fancy.
because last week I threw everything onto the desk, so it sat there for a few days, and I was like, well, I guess now's the time to finally organize it. So I did
Yeah,
that.
that's the trick on the podcast. We just make you pull everything out and then suddenly it gets
Yeah,
organized.
exactly. Uh,
Bullseye.
Hi everybody, welcome to the. He doesn't even know where we started recording. Hi everyone, welcome to the PokeBeach.com
Did you start
podcast.
the recording in OBS? We've had this
Yeah.
problem before.
No, I
Okay.
did. I did.
All right.
My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined by the lively,
Justin Basil of justinbasil.com. Yes, lively. Lively
very
is the word I would
lively.
go with.
There's not that much news this week actually. So I was thinking we'd start with talking about Christmas or the holidays or whatever. Is there any like product in particular you want to get or?
Like a Pokemon product?
Yeah, or anything.
I mean, not especially a Pokemon product. I think I have what I want for this time of year. Like the
That's a
one
good
thing I
answer.
really, really want. Well, no, like really though, that's the case. Because I last week I did I was staff for the San Antonio Regional Championships. I helped people learn how to play the Pokemon trading card game all weekend. It was fantastic. Probably helped at least 50 people learn how to play.
Wow.
Yeah, between the group of us, we taught quite a few people how to play over the weekend. I don't remember where I was going with this. It was interesting though, I swear.
Did anybody come up and talk to you from?
Yes, actually. So a little funny story about that too. So as I was checking in as staff, several of the other staff members recognized me, and they're like, "Ah, you're Justin Basil." I'm like, "I am, yes." That's, but that was cool to be recognized. And then, okay, so like it was Saturday, I think. No, Sunday. Sunday, I tweet out, "Hey, I'm gonna be at First Steps all day. Come say hi if you feel like it." That kind of thing. Nothing all day, right? Nothing. And then I get told to go to lunch. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to lunch. No big deal. As I'm getting back from lunch, I'm checking Twitter because, of course, I'm checking Twitter, and I see a response to that tweet saying, "Hey, I went there. You weren't there." I was like, "Of course you went while I was at lunch."
Yeah. Of
But
course.
they did end up coming. They did end up coming back as we were closing everything down and saying hi. So I'm glad I got to meet them. But I was like, "No, that's like the
Aw.
worst possible situation."
Well, I'll come meet you whenever we eventually go to the same event.
Hopefully, we do more than just meet. We got to actually hang out because.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
But yeah.
You're my friend. You my friend.
For sure.
What was the original question? Something about for Christmas products or whatever. Yeah, I'm of the same boat. Actually, I had this conversation with myself in the shower right before the podcast.
That was the tangent that got me there. Okay, so the
What?
reason I don't need anything is because as part of staff, you get compensation
yeah.
in packs. So
Yeah.
I have a bunch of packs. I don't really need packs right now until we get to Temporal Forces, which I'm very excited about, but we don't have any reels for yet. Hopefully this weekend, maybe.
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat where actually I guess my reasons are a little different. I'm so over stuff in general. Like I told my mom, my dad, my everybody, friends, everybody. I said I don't want anything for Christmas anymore. I'm so sick of stuff. I've had to clean out my grandma's house, my granddad's house, my parents' house, and there's just so much stuff that accumulates over life, and it's like, no, you're not taking it with you, and so much of it just sits around. And so like when it comes to Pokemon products, I tend to just get things that are older or that remind me of things from the past. Like the 151 set was like something that I wanted because I wanted to put all 151 cards together. But other than that, like and cleaning out this desk this week and seeing all of the stuff I have, and I'm just like I just don't want any more. I don't know what to do with it. Like the house is just full of stuff right now. So I'm very selective with what I get. And I'm like, for me, like Pokemon now is more about like the social experience. I mean, it always was, but that's only what it's about now for me. Like I want to be part of this community because of the social aspect and connecting with other people and bonding over the franchise together. So like going to Worlds, like that's fun. I'm after memories and experiences now at this stage in my life where I'm 35 years old. So for me, like spending quality time with people and connecting with people is what's most important to me. So, but I might get the Charizard Premium Collection though, maybe.
The one that came out a while ago?
Yeah, that might be the only thing I get.
I mean, they're pretty cheap now, so.
Yeah, but other than that, like I'm very selective with what I purchase. And I just got a bunch of I got like 4 binders in the mail, Pokemon Ultra Pro binders, so that I could organize all those cards in my desk and everything. So, oh boy, you're tired today.
I'm always tired. It's been a long week.
Yeah, you're really tired today. Okay, so should we? Well, speaking of, so you brought up Temporal Forces, which is the English version of our Japanese Wild Force and Cyber Judge sets. We are pretty sure that this is my comb that I'm holding. We are pretty sure that those are going to be revealed this weekend at the Kyoto. What's it called? Champions League Kyoto. Champions League Kyoto. So on Saturday, I believe we'll get a news drop. So it'll be either I think Saturday, right? Or Friday, Saturday, something like that. I'll have to check after. I'll have to check after. But we should get the set announcement for that, along with any other announcements they have for the coming year. So look forward to that. I suspect
they'll probably reveal rotation for Japan then too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they do it every year. Yeah. So this is the event where they're going to announce the beginning of the year set and any other announcements for the year. So look forward to that this weekend. And once we know the rough time that they'll reveal it, I might tweet it out or something or post a news story, because I know that this is like the big thing that's going to jumpstart the year that people will be excited about.
So I'm hoping, and this is obviously pure speculation, and I may have brought this up in a previous episode. I think I brought it up on Pokemon Wonders podcast last week. But so we're supposed to be seeing the return of A-Specs in these two sets, in our Temporal Forces set. They just did a distribution for Master Ball and Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. Well, I hinted at that on my Twitter a few weeks ago. I said
I feel like it's going to be reprinted.
Yeah, no,
and
if
they don't reprint Computer Search and Dowsing Machine, I think it's actually a really good pick for an A-Spec in a deck.
Yeah,
because it's a very powerful card if you don't have those two other options.
And if you played, what's the latest DLC called? Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. That's the overall name.
That's the whole thing.
What's the second one? Anyway, if you played the second one that just came, I'm forgetting it right now. Me too. If you played the second one that just came out. Indigo Disc, yes, sorry. In the Indigo Disc, there is a major sort of tidbit about the Master Ball that happens in the Indigo Disc. So that's another reason why we'll probably get Master Ball reprinted as an A-Spec. And I did hint that on my Twitter a few weeks ago, because there were some hints about, or I guess spoilers about, the Master Ball's involvement in the game. So for those of you who played it, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't, just know that Master Ball is getting some attention in this game. So,
but if you we're just real quick before we move on.
Yeah,
because some people probably have no idea what Master Ball does.
What?
Master Ball is an ace. In the video games, they probably know, but in the trading card game, you gotta remember that was last out in black and white, right? So Master Ball is an A-Spec. A-Specs are cards you can only have one of any A-Spec in your deck.
A-Spec.
I'm talking about the most recent print. That's the one they're going to reprint if they reprint one.
Right.
All right. So A-Spec, it says search your deck for a Pokemon and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Right. That's all it does. It's basically an Ultra Ball, but with no discard necessary.
Yeah.
And really powerful effect.
Catch any Pokemon from your deck like the Master Ball, except maybe Terapagos. But anyway, so why don't we? Should we get into the news now?
Sure. Let's move away from the speculation and
it's
into
not
the
a lot
news.
it's not a lot of important news this week. What was the one I wanted to start with that had to do with the set?
Had to deal with what?
Wasn't there something that had? Oh no, that was the draft I worked on. Never mind. I was thinking of the draft that I prepared for the set reveal. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay, so this week, oh, that's nice. Cloudflare. Okay, so this week it was revealed that Ultra Pro is going to be releasing a premium Abra Evolutions stitched playmat. And this is the first time Ultra Pro is releasing a standalone stitched playmat product. We got one in the 151 Ultra Premium Collection featuring Mew, but this stitched playmat is different than usual because, as the name implies, the edge is stitched. So it's supposed to be more durable. And as you can see, the artwork is a little more elaborate than the regular playmats, as you can see here.
They put some effort into it. What?
I really like it, actually. It's going to release
for a stock artwork playmat, because it is still stock artwork.
Yeah,
I think it's actually pretty good.
It is. It's beautiful, and it's going to release on May 15th. I think they're releasing it to celebrate 151 because I can't think of any other reason why. And it should cost $23.99 like Ultra Pro's other stitch playmats for other brands like Magic the Gathering. But yeah, I really love the artwork on this. Or the design, I guess I should say. It really plays into Alakazam's whole magic-y sort of theme, so I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, if I didn't have a trillion playmats already, I'd be like, yeah, I consider getting that one. And I think for a player just starting out, especially if they're a fan of any of the three in this line, 100% pretty good pick.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, and then our next news story of the week has to do with China. How does Trump say it? China.
I don't know. I try not to listen to him.
My friends always make fun of him. The way he pronounced that. Yeah, and I'm on your side with that. Anyway, so there's going to be what am I saying? So back in November, we posted that there was an exclusive Venusaur V full art and Blastoise V full art that released in China's Primordial Martial Arts set, which came out on November 17th. This is the first time we've ever seen these two cards. They never released in Japan or in English, so they were created exclusively for this Chinese set. And now we've come to find out that also Rainbow Rare versions of Venusaur VMAX and Blastoise VMAX also released in this set, which also never got releases anywhere else in the world. So we did get Venusaur V and Venusaur VMAX and Blastoise V and Blastoise VMAX before with the artworks that released in Japan, but not Rainbow Rare versions or these full art versions. So I think the Pokemon Company decided to do this for China because those are some of the most recognizable Pokemon, and they just started releasing sets in mainland China, so they're trying to market those Pokemon and thus release secret rare versions of the cards in those sets. So I think that's why we got it. And we've been getting a couple of country exclusive cards lately, so this isn't too surprising, but it's definitely noteworthy. And I guess, is that all there is to say about that?
I mean, pretty much. I'll just say I'm glad we're through the whole V and VMAX era, because I am very over the whole Rainbow Rare thing, and I think full arts in general, and this goes for Scarlet and Violet era too, they're just so bland and boring.
Yeah. Yep. I hated Rainbow Rares the moment they came out. I remember playing in Sun and Moon Rainbow Rare Lapras GX. That was my first Rainbow Rare I pulled. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I don't get to enjoy Lapras's blue colors. It's like this ugly. Yeah. And that was like my first experience with the Rainbow Rare, and I was like, I hate these. And then everyone else kind of hated them too, and then they got rid of them, thankfully.
That's the thing is you still have people in like the comments and on Discord or on comments on like Twitter and stuff. We're like, oh, Rainbow Rares were so much better. Blah, 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 blah. So much better than what? Dunking your head in the toilet?
I think they're contrarians. I think they just said, I don't know. Maybe they, I don't know. I can't tell people how to think or how they should think, but I guess maybe there are people who
I know some people have different opinions, but like they're almost as bad as the current golds that we've got, where they're just they're just tacky. I'll say this: at least the rainbows don't look like fakes. I mean, they kind of do, but not to the same degree as the golds.
Yeah. Well, they're doing that emboss thing now, or emboss. What do you call it? The raised foil effect. So maybe those counterfeit gold cards won't be able to replicate that. And then,
I mean, the counterfeit, any of them can't replicate things properly as it is. I have yet to see a convincing fake.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true too. Okay, next news story is that there is going to be a new premium collection coming out on April 5th. It'll retail for $39.99, and we don't have the product image yet or know who it's going to feature, but the previous set featured Cyrus and Clara, and then before that, of course, was Marnie. Oh, this was the news I was talking about with Wild Force and Cyber Judge. So Japan is going to be getting merchandise for Bianca on January 26th to tie into Wild Force and Cyber Judge. So she's one possibility to be featured here.
Why Bianca?
Well,
It's
because
such a random inclusion.
No, it may not be. If you're following the games, we might be leading into Black and White remakes soon. And
Okay, yeah, even if we have Black and White remakes, Black and White remakes coming soon, why would they not start with the I block next year or 2025 when we actually have them instead of now?
Well,
Like it's
right
I think
now,
it's premature.
Well, it's also Blueberry Academy in the games takes place in Unova, so that's also.
I get that, but does Bianca actually make an appearance there?
No, she doesn't. But but we might. I don't know. Like, so they're supposed. I was thinking about this the other day. So we're supposed to get the next version of the Switch next year, I think, or they're going to announce it next year or whatever.
So they're supposed to, yeah.
So between now and then, they're going to have to come out with. They're not going to release. I don't think they're going to release a new generation on the Switch again. They're going to save that for the next hardware so that it promotes Nintendo's next hardware. So right now, everybody has a Switch. So for Pokemon, that's more money for them to release another game on the Switch, like a Black and White remake. Whereas if they were to release a new generation now, it would rob the next hardware of getting new customers who would buy that hardware to play the next generation, Gen 10. So I think that maybe we're going to get a Black and White remake between now and the summer or something, because, well, no, maybe not summer, maybe like early fall, I don't know, but for sure, like Pokemon Days, February, what is it, 20 something, when is that,
26,
something like that. So we'll probably get some kind of announcement for that. I almost think like, so with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, those didn't seem to be very well received by fans. They were direct remakes. So I almost kind of think
27th apparently. I just
27th. BDSP was not didn't seem to be well received by fans. So because it was a direct remake of Diamond and Pearl, it's like, why not just play the original Diamond and Pearl? But
okay.
So wait, hold on. I'm gonna lose my train of thought. Wait, hold on. So it's almost like Blueberry Academy taking place in Unova is sort of like an introduction to Unova again, like BDSP was, and then maybe our next game is going to be like some sort of Unova game that takes place in the past or the future or something like that. So as in sort of the same vein as Legends Arceus. So if that's the case, we could get a potential Unova game within the next year to capitalize on the current fact that most people have a Switch, and then to promote people getting the next version of the Switch, whatever that'll be, they'll release Gen 10 on it. So anyway, what I'm saying is that I think that they're going to do a lot of Unova next year, which is why we're starting to get Bianca. But I could be wrong.
I just feel like it's premature to be releasing a bunch of Unova characters, because if they were going to do that, they could have just printed an in reprint instead of using INO to do that.
Well, this is only one Unova character, so and I might also be wrong about this milk box even featuring Bianca. It could just be any other.
Wants to be like Boss's Orders, Cassiopeia.
Yeah, it could be something
That'd
like
be actually
that.
kind of cool.
Right,
but
I guess we're talking to the fact that there is Bianca products that are releasing soon, so it's got to tie into something.
In Japan. I mean, maybe, But usually they announce their they do the product announcements once they've announced the set, right? It seems very interesting that they're announcing the merchandise before they've announced the set.
No. This isn't atypical. These because they sell these at their gym tournaments. This is not an atypical timing. What is atypical is that maybe it's featuring Bianca, who is from Black and White. That might be a little atypical. So, but the timing of it isn't. With how
so Bianca's effect is a draw until you have 6 cards in your hand, right? She's like a weaker version of Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Karena's focus is leaving the format. That's a similar card. I almost wonder if they want to let Professor's research rotate in a few years. Maybe we won't get a new research for the block. We'll find out. Maybe Bianca will be the crazy new draw supporter or the new draw supporter. I doubt it, but I don't know. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing her come back. I just don't think she's going to see much play for a while, if she sees any at all.
And then, sorry, I forgot to mention that these premium tournament collections, they always come with a full art supporter card and then 3 additional foil supporter cards of the same card. And then, of course, 65 card sleeves, a deck box, a large metallic coin, 6 booster packs, and a code card. In the past, these have come with 7 booster packs, but for some reason, the early product listings say that it's 6. So I don't know if because there was an increase in booster pack prices since the last premium tournament collections came out. So we'll see if that's actually the case or if it's an error in the listing.
The most recent one was Clara, which was Sword and Shield. So yeah, that would have been 5 back.
So they might have taken out a pack so that it's the same price as they were before. And then April 5th is also going to see the release of a new EX box. For $21.99, configured in the same way as the Mabastiff, Oinkologne, and Cyclizar EX boxes, so we just don't know which Pokemon it'll feature yet.
What was that middle one?
Oinkologne?
Okay, there you go.
I
heard something very different. I was like, Oinkologne, I think is what I heard.
Oh, is that what I said?
We'll hear it back in the recording.
I'm sure I said that.
That's like
Oinkologne. Oinkologne. Sometimes it's also the speed at which I say it screws it up.
I gotcha.
Oinkologne. It's funny. I'm the one who always used to criticize everybody's pronouncements of Pokemon names, like consistently.
We're going with wait. We're going with pronouncements now. Ooh.
What? Pronunciations.
There we go.
Oh my God. If we did this podcast in the evening, I would be so awake and so on top of it. Like I wake up at night. This is literally the worst time of the day for my brain. I have never been a morning person.
You know what's really funny?
If
I didn't have to live stream in the evening on Fridays, it would actually be easier for me to do this in like midnight your time.
Yeah.
But because I'm streaming,
this is where I cannot function in the morning, but this is great because this podcast has made me get up earlier in the day now, and I've adjusted my sleep schedule. So it's a good thing. Okay. Yeah. So then our next news story of the week is that.
So to recap, EX box, milk carton. Don't know the contents of either. Could be Bianca, maybe not Bianca. Unova might get some highlights. We'll see in the future. Cool.
Very good. Yeah, I'm glad you said all that because we went into so many tangents.
Yes.
So then we also had some English reveals from Paldean Fates this week. Nothing really that surprising.
I mean, these are cards we've seen in Japanese. Yeah. It's just cool. And thus far, there have been no real surprises in card numbering. So if you're trying to check trying to track our English set with the English card real numbers, like there's just nothing that fascinating so far.
You can check the news story to see all the English cards, and then there's also a forum thread on PokeBeach forums where they're compiling the set list already. I think they pretty much know what's in the set, so
they're guessing thoroughly is what they're doing.
Yeah, but I think their guesses are pretty good based on because it's like
they were pretty good last time before they completely redid their whole list too. So
okay, well
we'll see.
Well, check out that thread if you want to see the speculation. All right, then our next news story is that, well, this wasn't really like news, but I just posted it because it's the end of the year.
It's a good recap article. We haven't been doing it for each individual reveal, so I think it's a good thing.
So Creatures opened an Instagram account back in January where they post textless card images. So I just compiled them all from the last time I posted this story. It's a lot of, God, it's just So many of these cards are
So
so
many
beautiful.
beautiful arts.
Suicune here. I love Suicune. Grusha. They were posting a lot of Christmassy ones lately. So wintry
Everybody's
ones.
everybody's favorite male waifu is Grusha.
Yeah. And then this ice cube is pretty funny. How plain it is. But yeah, check out the news story if you want to see those. And you know, there's a lot of good phone background wallpaper potentially here.
I also really like the boss's orders with the Getsus. That's such a cool art too.
I don't know where it is.
And
right
the
now.
penny too. Hey, you scrolled way past it.
No. But yeah, check out that story and makes for good wallpaper. Actually, I haven't really gone through these yet, but I need to set some of these as wallpaper. Ooh, Bulbasaur, I want it. Maybe that one. Okay, and then and then of course, if you want to follow these illustrations as they're revealed, you should follow Poke Art Life on Instagram to see them as they post them. I don't bother posting them every few days because that would be a lot of
Yeah, I don't.
stories.
They're not really. They're not really
Newsworthy.
worth the bandwidth. Yeah, they're not. They're
More
they're
like a
cool when they're revealed.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, and they're really pretty to see the card like without the giant walls of text. Like I always refer to Alolan Ninetales GX from Lost Thunder when I want to complain about how much text is on some Pokemon cards.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
you look at it and it's like this novel that they crammed onto the
Yeah.
card, and then there's this little tiny sliver at the top where you don't have to see all the text.
It's so traditional though, because was it Brock's Ninetales, Blaine's Ninetales? Which one was it that had the super long?
Talking about shapeshift.
Yeah, shapeshift. Yeah,
Brock's, yeah, it's Brock's.
Yeah, Brock's. Yeah. The super crammed card. So it's kind of traditional for Ninetales. It's funny how like I'm so bad at talking out loud and thinking out loud. And I used to be in speech and debate. I was in it for 8 years, and I've just, because I've lived alone for all my adult life, I've lost the ability to like speak out loud and think out loud. But like if I were sitting down and thinking, I would have totally said Brock's Ninetales and thought of it. But when I'm talking out loud, it's so hard for my brain to process. It's like I have to be in my quiet space and think. And I'm just so
You
bad
think
at
with your
talking out
keyboard.
loud. I think, yes. Is that a thing?
Maybe I don't know.
Because I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, I can write such great I can write such great things and be very logical and come up with everything off the top of my head when I'm writing on the keyboard. But like when I'm talking out loud, I do so bad at it. I don't know if it's that sleep deprivation problem. I don't know if I have some kind of mental issue or if I've just been living alone for so long that I live in my head and it's hard for me to talk to other people. I don't know. So,
Recording these podcasts will get you sorted.
That's what we were. Remember, we talked about that before. I was saying that I was like, I trip over my words so much, and when I'm talking out loud, I'm so much better at typing and thinking that way, and writing. Because I write for film, and I'm involved in film, and I'm always on productions and writing, and just when I talk out loud, I do so bad. Anyway, okay, so then our final news story of the week is that there are more stamped English cards releasing in Southeast countries, including Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines. They are getting Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley from Scarlet and Violet with a beginner's session logo on them. And if you're a master set collector, you're probably going to want to get these. They're going to start coming out next year. New players who go to tournament events, who participate in the sessions where they teach you how to play the card game, like what you just did at San Antonio, will get all 3 cards. And then if you are somebody who already knows how to play and you bring a friend who doesn't know how to play and teach them in one of these sessions, you'll also get all 3 cards. So once again, Southeast Asia is getting English cards with exclusive features and stamps. And I guess that's going to become a trend from now on. So we're going to watch those. We're going to watch for those cards for those of you who are master set collectors.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. I mean, at this point, it literally is just like the same art with a stamp, but
Yeah.
like people want those, right?
Well, we deal with the Pokemon trading card game, and you've got so many different fans who are involved in it. And it's like, you get criticized from everybody all the time. Either you're not covering every little thing for the collectors, or you're covering too many little things, and it's like, what's that balance for readers? It's like, I can never win. I never win. I get criticized no matter what. No matter what I do.
Heaven forbid we cover anything that's okay, that song, the BDB that released a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah. So you made a post about, but that wasn't even trading card game related.
Right, but we used to cover that stuff.
We did, but then, so I used to cover, if you've been following Poke Beach for the last 21 years, I used to cover everything. I covered the anime, the video games, the card game, and that's all there was back then. It was an easier franchise to cover, but now there's so many darn mobile games and everything, and I just personally can't keep up with it, and I don't want to. For me, I'm all or nothing. So if I can't cover... Right. If I'm covering the video games and I can't cover everything about it, there's no point to me. You can go to other places to get better coverage. So for me, I'm all or nothing with the card game. And that's originally why I made that the main focus of the website, because back in 2003, the card game was dead. Like, there was no organized... Yeah. I'm probably going to ramble now. But basically, the card game needed the most attention. So it needed the most help. So that's why I stuck to covering it, and that's why I continue to cover it. So I forgot what we were talking about. But
we were talking about why we didn't keep published that story about Beady Beady.
So he posted some, I don't know, band song that Pokemon did a collaboration with some band. Is that what it was?
It's not a band, it's a duo, and they're like extremely well known.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm in film, but I'm the worst film person ever, because I don't know any film people, any musicians, or I'm the worst pop culture person ever. I don't know anything. So I live under a rock. So I'm sorry I didn't know that. But Justin Basil posted a story about this duo that collaborated with Pokemon.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm by the time we're done with this podcast.
And I literally messaged him like, "What are you doing?" I said, "We don't cover that." I'm like, that's not what the readers come to this website for. So I told him he had to delete it, and it sucked because he put so much effort into that story, but we don't cover that anymore. Just focus exclusively on their card game now, and then, video game announcements or anime announcements as they apply to the card game. But that had nothing to do with the card game. They weren't going to release like a special set to celebrate that collaboration. Or
you anything, don't know?
So, well, we do know, because it didn't. They would have announced it at the same time, but yeah, it's like, we've got our niche that we focus on now, and I've always been a fan of the video games and the anime. Actually, I think I'm probably one of the biggest Pokemon anime fans there is, but you would never know it now by what we cover on the website. But anyway, so so I don't know what I'm saying.
The article was unpublished, for the record. It was not deleted. It is still there in the depths of the Poke Beach unpublished archives. Yes.
There's a lot of unpublished articles. If you look through the drafts I've written, a lot of cards, or lots of stories.
It's the story graveyard.
There is this big story graveyard.
Over 1,000, sir. I think.
Oops.
That's so many.
Well, I wonder how many, there's over 1,000 unpublished stories, but there's also that's only a small percentage of the actual published stories over 21 years that I've written, and then not to mention a lot of those. That's not even the total, because in the old days, a lot of posts on the website had 10 news stories in them. So I can't even figure out how many things I've published over the years. But anyway,
so many stories.
Yeah, 21 years. Then I can't even get into Worlds. Press badge. It's like who else? It's like who else has covered the card? Nobody. I realized this a few months ago. Nobody else has covered the Pokemon trading card game for longer than I have. I'm literally the only person on planet Earth that has covered it for this long, and it's like I have all this knowledge in my head and have seen everything because I've been here since the beginning. So one day, probably next year. This is foreshadowing. This is a hint. Nobody's going to know what I'm talking about right now. But one day, all that information is going to be out there. One day. And it might be next year. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. All right. So now what? Merry Christmas.
Or happy holidays or happy new year. Let's see what we're gonna do a new podcast before the end of the year. So not happy new year yet, but happy holidays if you celebrate them.
Christmas.
And if you don't, enjoy a fabulous week with people being holed up in their houses.
And then on this weekend,
if you work in retail, my condolences. That goes for myself too. This is gonna be a horrible week.
I hope it's not that bad. Consumerism, right? That's what I was talking about earlier. Stop buying stuff. Make memories. Make experiences with your loved ones.
John, buying things is how we make happiness.
No. This consumerism is out of control. You don't need stuff, and your grandson or granddaughter, your great nephew or great niece, they're gonna have to throw it all away one day. So they're gonna have to clean out your house when you kick the bucket. So just stop buying junk. And I say that as I have some, Pokemon stuff around me, but I'm very selective with what I buy. But anyway, and then this weekend we'll probably get the reveals of Wild Force Cyber Judge. So it's going to be a big weekend. So stay tuned to the website.
Hear Japan's rotation also, and maybe ours in conjunction with that. We'll see. So
stay tuned to this weekend. It's going to probably be a big Christmas weekend of news. So we'll see what happens. And those announcements, I think, come at what's it going to be like?
It's usually maybe between 3 or 4 in the morning.
Either between 11
p.m. 3 or 4 for me. Yeah.
It'll be somewhere between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. I mean, it varies with when they announce it, and then it also depends on their tournament schedule, but and how delayed they get. So they'll announce it at the tournament between rounds. So I'll post, maybe if we know when that's going to be roughly. Maybe I'll post a news story saying, "Hey, everybody, this is going to happen soon." So keep watching the website. But okay,
everybody get hyped. Master Ball
everybody
reveal.
Get hyped, and we'll talk about all that next week's podcast. But okay, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and again, spend it with your loved ones, make memories, yada yada. I'll get off my what do you call it, soapbox, and
Alakazam is what you're gonna put in the comments if you watched all the way to the end this week.
Oh, yeah, put Alakazam and do it in all caps. No, wait. Do it in all caps so that if anybody is copying your comments, they might put it in their own format. So do it in all caps to show that you actually heard us and you're not copying somebody else's comment. If you got don't
highlight the fact that we told you to put it in caps.
Yeah, and don't do that. All right, cool. So we'll see you guys all next week, and hope you have a good weekend. Bye.
Absolutely.